Chapter 1. The Howl on the Ridge. The first scream gets swallowed by the storm. At first, I think it's the wind tearing itself apart on the jagged peaks above Hollow's End, a high, ragged wail riding the thunder. But then, it happens again. Closer, sharper, threaded with something that chills the back of my neck. Not wind, not thunder, a howl. I wrap my arms tighter around myself and push through the crowd clustered in the town square, my boots slipping on rain-slick cobblestones. Lanterns swing wildly overhead, throwing frantic shadows over faces already lit with a fevered glow. Everyone is buzzing, half in fear, half in excitement. The initiation always does that to them. "Lena!" A hand closes around my wrist. I jerk, but it's only Mira. Her blonde braids soaked and stuck to her cheek. Her eyes, wide and too bright, search my face. "You're doing that thing again. The staring into the void one." "I'm fine," I lie. "You don't look fine," her expression says. But Mira is kind enough not to call me out in front of the elders, lined up near the bonfire, their dark coats beaded with rain, their eyes tracking everything and nothing at once. The bonfire roars in the center of the square, defying the storm. Sparks shoot up into the bruised sky, swallowed by low clouds. The scent of burning pine needles and damp earth mixes with the metallic tang of my own fear. Tonight is the Alpha initiation, and somehow I'm the only one trying not to tremble. "You heard that, right?" I ask Mira under my breath. "The howl." She shivers, but tries to play it off with a laugh. "Wolves live in the mountains, Lena. That's kind of their thing. Not like that, I want to say. Not so close. Not with that edge to it." The sound had curled around my spine like a cold finger, tugging, like recognition. The elders are talking. I drag my focus to them. Elder Rowan stands nearest the fire, his lined face carved deep by years of smoke and secrets. His voice carries over the crackling flames and murmuring crowd. "Tonight," he intones, "we honor the pact. As our forebears did, we send one soul into the wild, and the wild answers." I swallow hard. They don't say sacrifice. They never do. They call it a test, a rite, a tradition older than the town itself. But everyone knows the stories. People go into the forest for the initiation. Some come back changed. Others don't come back at all. Lightning tears the sky open. Thunder answers, rolling over us like a promise. My fingers curl into fists inside my sleeves. The scar on my left palm throbs, old burn wounds pulling tight with the cold. A memory flashes, unwelcome. My father's workshop on fire, his voice shouting my name over the roar. My own scream breaking as the roof caved. I slam the door on it. Not now. Mira squeezes my hand. "Hey, breathe." Easy for her to say. She's not the one the elders picked this year. Lena Hart. My name cracks like a whip across the square. Every head turns. The fire seems to lean toward me. For a split second, I foolishly hope they mean someone else. Then Elder Rowan's pale eyes find mine through the curtain of rain. It is time. The crowd parts. A narrow path opens between bodies, faces, whispers. I feel their gazes like hands, pushing, pulling, judging. Mira's grip tightens. "You don't have to. I do." My voice is hoarse, but steady. "You know I do." "The Heart Line owes a debt to Hollow's End," they said. After the fire that took my father and half the northern ridge, after the reports that blamed him, after the insurance that never came, there were 100 words for what happened, and none of them were true, but they needed someone, and I didn't have the power to say no. "Lena," Mira whispers, eyes wet. Come back. I try to make a joke. I have to. You still owe me $10. It earns a watery snort. She pulls me into a fierce hug. I cling for one breath, then another, breathing in the familiar scent of her. Lavender soap, wood smoke, the cheap vanilla perfume we share. Then I pull away and step into the path. Each step toward the bonfire feels heavier. The heat kisses my face, drying raindrops into steam. Elder Rowan's expression is unreadable. You walk alone from here, he says. No lantern, no weapon. My stomach turns. No weapon. There are wolves out there. His gaze doesn't flicker. The mountain chooses who returns. Steel can't sway fate. Fate. The word tastes like rust on my tongue. I lift my chin. And what am I supposed to do? Just wander around in the dark until something eats me. A murmur ripples through the crowd, half scandal, half reluctant admiration. Rowan's mouth twitches, not quite a smile. You are to make it to the old stone circle on Blackthorn Ridge by moonrise, he says. If you reach it and place your hand upon the altar, the pact is fulfilled. The Alpha will be chosen. The Alpha. Another howl splits the night. Closer. The storm almost drowns it, but not enough. The fire flares, as if answering. My heart stutters. Something inside me responds to that sound with a strange, aching pull, like a muscle I never knew I had finally being used. Go, Rowan says softly. The mountain is listening. The edge of the forest looms beyond the last row of houses, black and hungry. The trees sway, whispering secrets to the wind. I draw in a breath that tastes like smoke and rain and fear, and step off the cobblestones onto the muddy path. The storm swallows the town behind me. The forest is alive, not in the gentle storybook way. This is a feral heartbeat, a million wet leaves shivering in the wind, branches creaking like old bones. The rain has thinned to a fine mist that clings to my hair, cold fingers combing through it. I move carefully, boots sinking in the soft earth. Lightning flickers, turning the trees into ghostly ribs around me. Each flash is a stuttering glimpse of the world. Each pocket of darkness could hide anything. No lantern, no weapon, of course. Twigs snap under my feet. Somewhere deeper in the woods, something answers with a rustle that isn't wind. My heartbeat rushes in my ears. You're fine, I whisper to myself. Just trees. Just stupid old trees and even stupider old men and their rituals. A low growl slips between the trunks. It freezes me mid-step. Not thunder. Not my imagination. I turn slowly. At first I see nothing. Just darkness layered on darker darkness. The vague shapes of ferns and roots and fallen logs. Then 2 points of pale light emerge, floating at the height of my chest. Eyes. My breath snags. Easy, I say, though I'm not sure if it's to myself or to whatever is watching me. I'm just passing through. Okay? The eyes blink once. The soft scrape of claws digs into damp soil. The clouds shift. A sliver of moonlight filters through, just enough to paint the suggestion of fur. Massive shoulders. A head lowered, ears pricked, teeth catching the faint light. Wolf? No. Too big. Its back rises to my ribs at least, its presence filling the space between trees until there is nothing else. My blood turns to ice and fire all at once. Run, instinct screams. Don't, another voice says, colder and quieter. Predators chase what flees. I force my knees to lock instead of buckle. My fingers twitch at my sides, wanting something to hold, to swing, to use. I'm not here to hurt you, I whisper. The wolf steps forward out of the shadows. Its coat is a deep, impossible black, drinking in what little light there is. Raindrops cling to its fur like shards of glass, but it's the eyes that steal my breath. Pale, almost silver, ringed with darker gray, intelligent in a way that makes my skin prickle. Those eyes are not animal. They are aware. The pull in my chest tightens, something low in my abdomen clenching in answer. My pulse skitters, not entirely from fear. "What are you?" slips out before I can stop it. The wolf's head tilts. For a heartbeat, we simply stare at each other, the air between us humming, charged. I can hear my own breathing, can feel the cold mud soaking through the soles of my boots, can smell wet earth and wild fur, musk and pine, and something that is uniquely him. Him, not it. He takes one more step closer. Close enough now that I could reach out and touch the damp fur along his neck if I dared. My fingers lift an inch. A branch snaps somewhere behind me. The wolf's eyes flash, shifting from me to the dark beyond my shoulder. His lips peel back, a deep, rumbling snarl shaking his chest. I spin. Another shape moves in the darkness. Then another. Eyes. More of them. Not silver, but a sickly yellow, catching the moonlight like broken glass. Low growls roll through the trees, overlapping. My stomach drops. Rogues. I don't know where the word comes from. Just that it fits. Wolves. But wrong somehow. Leaner. More desperate. Shadows that flicker wrong when lightning briefly illuminates them. The smell reaches me next. Harsh and rank. Like rot under the fur. One breaks from the dark. Lunging. I stumble back. But there's nowhere to go. Claws rake the front of my jacket, tearing through fabric. I scream, the sound raw, my back slamming into rough bark. The silver-eyed wolf hits the rogue like a thunderbolt. They collide in a snarl of fur and teeth. The impact shakes the tree at my back. I slide down the trunk, mud splashing my legs, shock buzzing my limbs. They're a blur, too fast to follow. Lightning cracks overhead, freezing them mid-motion in stark white for an instant. Jaws snapping, muscles bunching, eyes blazing. More rogues are circling. One darts toward me, teeth bared. "Get away!" My voice rips free, high and panicked. The black wolf wheels slamming into it with his shoulder, sending it sprawling. His gaze flicks to me for a split second. Mine locks with his. The world narrows to silver and thunder and the wild, dizzying sensation that something inside me is cracking open. The pull in my chest becomes a roar. You. Something in me whispers. It's you. Then another rogue is on him, jaws snapping at his flank. The silver-eyed wolf snarls, a sound that vibrates in my bones, and tears into its shoulder. Blood spatters the ground, dark and hot. I try to move, to run, to help, anything. My legs are jelly. The barking, snarling chaos threatens to swallow me. A rogue breaks past him, lunging straight for my throat. I barely raise my arms in time. Weight crashes into me. We slam into the ground, the impact knocking the air from my lungs. Hot breath blasts over my face. Teeth graze my skin. Suddenly the weight is gone, ripped away. I cough, blinking through rain and tears and mud. The black wolf stands over me now, hackles high, his body shielding mine. He's breathing hard, sides heaving, a ragged cut along his shoulder oozing dark. The remaining rogues hesitate. Then, as if some silent decision passes between them, they melt back into the trees, growls fading into the storm. Silence crashes down, broken only by the harsh rasp of my breathing, and the wolf's. I realize I'm clutching a fistful of his fur, my fingers tangled deep near his ribs. At some point, I must have grabbed him. At some point, he must have let me. You. My voice shakes. You saved me. For a moment, we just stare at each other again. The forest smells of rain and blood and fear. My body thrums with adrenaline, but under it is that same inexplicable pull, fiercer now, demanding. I reach up, almost without thinking, my hand trembling as I brush my fingers along the thick fur at his neck. Heat slams into me, not just from his body, from something else. An electric jolt that shoots up my arm and explodes behind my eyes, filling my head with images I can't quite grasp. A mountain under a full moon, a heartbeat not my own. A low, rough voice saying my name like a vow. Lena. I rip my hand back with a gasp. The wolf flinches too, a shudder running through him. His eyes widen, silver flashing like lightning. We are both breathing too fast, staring like we've seen a ghost. What was that? I whisper. He blinks once, slowly. Then he backs away, each step careful, deliberate. Wait, I say. Don't go. But he's already turning, limping slightly from the wound at his shoulder, fading into the darkness between the trees. You can't just... My protest dies as the forest swallows him. I'm alone again. Mud-soaked, shaking, my palms stinging, my heart a wild drum. Somewhere above the clouds, the moon is rising. Somewhere deep in the woods, a black wolf with silver eyes is bleeding because of me. And somewhere behind my sternum, something ancient has woken and will not go back to sleep. The mountain is listening, Elder Rowan had said. I think something else is too. And whatever happened just now, whatever that strange surge between us was, doesn't feel like an accident. It feels like the beginning of something I'm not ready for. But I don't think it cares. Chapter 2. The Wolf with Silver Eyes. By the time my legs stop shaking enough to stand, the adrenaline has burned out, leaving a strange hollowness in its wake. The forest presses in, damp and watchful. Every shadow looks like teeth. The scratch marks on my jacket are real, clawed clean through the fabric. My shoulder burns where one of the rogue's claws grazed me. A shallow, angry sting. I can feel the warm tackiness of blood through the torn cloth. But I'm alive, because of him. A black wolf with silver eyes. I grip the rough bark of a nearby tree and force myself upright, breath sawing in and out. Distant thunder mutters like an argument I can't quite hear. My lungs burn with each inhale, like I'm breathing smoke again. Like I'm 13, and the workshop is collapsing and... No, not going there. Stone Circle, I whisper. Blackthorn Ridge. Don't die until then. It's a pathetic pep talk, but it's all I've got. I try to orient myself. The town is somewhere behind me, down the slope. The ridge rises ahead, a jagged line of darker shadow against the sky. If I keep heading upward, I should find the circle, assuming I don't stumble into more... rogues. The word feels wrong in my mouth, familiar in a way I can't explain. Half-remembered stories, whispered warnings. People go into the mountains and don't come back. But the town pretends the wolves are just... wolves. Those things weren't just wolves. And I swallow. Why did he protect me? I wrap my arms around myself, more to hold my body together than for warmth, and start moving. The ground slopes, slick with wet leaves. Twigs snag my torn jacket. My jeans are soaked and heavy. Every few steps I glance back, half expecting to see silver eyes watching from the dark. Nothing. The forest stretches on, a tangle of roots and moss, the occasional exposed rock slick with rain. Time blurs into a series of careful steps and small, Stupid prayers. Just reach the ridge. Just make it to the stone. Then what? I don't know. Nobody ever explains that part. They talk about the chosen alpha like he just appears. Like the mountain plucks him from thin air and crowns him under the moon. My foot catches on a hidden root. I stumble, slam my injured shoulder into a tree, and hiss through my teeth. Damn it. The pain brings unexpected tears to my eyes. I blink them away angrily. Cry later, Lena. If there is a later. A sudden rustle to my left freezes me mid-step. I go still, every muscle coiled, breath held. The forest has sounds. Wind in the branches, dripping water, the distant hoot of an owl. But this is different. Closer. Intentional. Hello? My voice comes out thin. If that's another one of you freaks, I swear. A figure steps out from between the trees. Human. My brain does a strange, stuttering skip. He's tall enough that even on the uneven ground, I have to tilt my head a little to meet his eyes. Dark hair, wet and unruly, falls over his forehead. He's wearing a black Henley shirt, plastered to a chest, that looks like it was carved from stubborn granite, sleeves shoved up over strong forearms. Mud splashes his boots and the hem of his dark jeans. But it's his eyes that make my breath catch. Pale gray, almost silver. For a heartbeat, all I can hear is the rush of blood in my ears. My lungs forget how to work. It can't be. Are you hurt? His voice is low and rough, like he doesn't use it often. The sound slides over my skin, inexplicably familiar. I just stare, my fingers tightening reflexively around nothing. His gaze flicks to my shoulder, where the ripped fabric exposes a thin line of blood. His jaw tightens. You are, he answers himself, stepping closer. I take a stumbling step back, spine colliding with a tree. Stay there, I croak. He stops instantly. That somehow unnerves me more. Up close, I can see details. The faint scar cutting through one eyebrow. The shadow of stubble along his jaw. The tension wound tight in his shoulders, like he's fighting an invisible leash. What are you doing out here? I demand. This forest, it's supposed to be off limits during the initiation. His mouth curves, but it's not a smile, more like a grim echo of one. You know about the initiation, but you went wandering around without a weapon. Anger flickers up through my fear like a match. They didn't let me bring one, I snap. Tradition, destiny, the mountain will provide, or some nonsense like that. And who are you to talk about wandering around? You're not from Hollow's End. His eyes narrow. Studying me, he takes another step, slower this time, like approaching a skittish animal. Every instinct screams danger and something else. Something that feels like standing on the edge of a cliff and leaning forward just to see what will happen. I shouldn't be here, he says quietly. Neither should you. I huff out a humorless laugh. Tell that to Elder Rowan. Are you one of the mountain hermits? A hunter? Because if you are, you're terrible at your job. There were wolves. I know. His voice sharpens. I falter. Of course he knows. His shirt is torn at the shoulder. Dark, wet patches stain the fabric there. Blood. My pulse jumps. You're hurt too. It's nothing. His gaze keeps dragging back to my face. There's a flicker there. Relief. Recognition. It feels like we're both hovering on the edge of a realization we can't quite name. The pull in my chest is back, stronger than before, tugging me toward him. It's insane. I don't know this man. I've never seen him in town. I would remember a face like that. Sharp, shadowed, eyes like stormlight. "Let me see," he says, nodding toward my shoulder. I hesitate. Every warning my mother ever whispered about strange men in the woods, and some she forgot to mention, jostle for space in my mind. But he did just step out of nowhere in the exact direction the silver-eyed wolf went. My gaze drops to his hands. Large, calloused. No weapon, no claws, no blood on them now. And underneath the wet earth and pine, a scent reaches me. Subtle, but there. Warm and wild and clean, like sun-warmed fur in cold river water and smoke. My chest tightens. I know that smell. I smelled it when my fingers sank into black fur. "Who are you?" I whisper. His eyes lock onto mine at the question. For a heartbeat, something raw flashes there. Hunger, conflict, something painful and fierce. He looks away first. "Rafe," he says. The name falls heavy between us, like it means more than it sounds. Rafe Avenroe. The last name lands like a stone in my stomach. Avenroe. The old mountain family. The ones who lived above Hollow's End long before the town had a name. The ones the stories whisper about when the fires burn low and the children have fallen asleep. The wolves of Blackthorn Ridge. That's not possible, I say, even as every part of me insists it is. The Avenroes left, years ago, after the disappearances. His jaw works. Seems the stories travel faster than the truth. Another howl rips through the forest, distant but clear. My body reacts before my mind does. Every fine hair on my arms rising, my pulse spurting. Rafe's gaze flicks in the direction of the sound, his pupils dilating, some of that feral energy breaking through his careful control. "They're still close," he mutters. "The rogues." A tremor races up my spine. "You need to keep moving," he tells me. "The circle isn't far, but they'll be hunting the paths. They're drawn to the initiation." "Why?" The word bursts out, sharp and desperate. "What are they?" Because those were not normal wolves. His silence stretches, taut. The wind picks up, carrying the scent of rain and something darker. The forest seems to lean in. Rafe. His name feels dangerous on my tongue, but I say it anyway. "You know something. You were there. You came out of nowhere right after the black wolf disappeared. Right after my hand touched fur, and the world tilted. Confusion churns with fear, and a fragile, stupid hope I don't understand." He looks at me like I'm a puzzle. He's both dreading and desperate to solve. "Can you walk?" he asks instead. I glare at him. I'm not broken. His gaze drops to my shoulder, then my muddy, trembling legs. One dark brow lifts, skeptical. "I'm fine," I insist. "Just point me to the circle." His lips press into a thin line. "I'll take you." My stomach drops. "No. The initiation rules get broken all the time," he cuts in, a faint growl in his voice. "When they don't suit the ones in power. You think the mountain cares whether I walk beside you?" I hesitate. He steps closer, slowly, until the distance between us is a handful of heartbeats and one stupid decision. His scent wraps around me. Warm, wild, intimately familiar in a way that makes no sense. The pull tightens, an invisible thread from his chest to mine. "Something went wrong tonight," he says softly, like a confession. "The rogues shouldn't have been this close. They shouldn't have known." He trails off, jaw clenched. "Known what?" "That you were coming," he says. "That the initiation was happening. That there would be blood on the mountain." The air feels colder suddenly. "How would they know?" I whisper. His eyes return to my face. They're brighter now, edges sharp. Some inner light glinting. Because someone told them, he answers. Someone from Hollow's End. The idea lands like a punch. The town is small, insular. Sure, the elders are secretive, but betray us to monsters in the dark. My chest tightens. That's insane. Is it? His gaze hardens. Or is it easier to believe they send one of you up here every few years and just hope the wolves are feeling merciful? I hate that I don't have an answer. Come on. His voice softens again. If we stand here any longer, they'll catch our scent. He extends a hand, palm up, fingers slightly curled. Trust me, Lena. The sound of my name in his mouth sends a shiver through me. Warm, rough syllables. Too intimate. I never said my name, I breathe. His expression stills. For a moment, everything else falls away. The storm, the trees, the distant howls. There's only the charged space between us and that single, impossible fact. He knows me. How do you... A branch snaps, closer this time. A low growl rolls through the underbrush. Rafe moves without thinking, grabbing my wrist and pulling me behind him. His hand is hot and calloused on my skin, the contact sending a shock up my arm, echoing the jolt I felt when I touched the wolf. Later, he murmurs, move. There's no time to argue. We dart between the trees, weaving through undergrowth. Rafe moves with uncanny ease, always choosing the path that avoids deadfall, avoiding the slickest rocks without even looking down. He never loosens his hold on my wrist. His grip is firm but not painful, like a tether in the dark. The forest blurs into shadow and breath and pounding hearts. How do you see where you're going? I manage between gasps. He glances back, eyes glinting. I know these woods. Understatement of the century. Another howl rises behind us, joined by a second, then a third. The sound shreds what's left of my composure. My legs burn, lungs screaming. But fear is a whip at my back. We're almost there, he says. How do you know? I snap, more to keep from panicking than anything else. Because I can smell the stone. I stumble, nearly face-planting. You can what? But then the trees thin unexpectedly, opening into a narrow clearing. The circle. Massive, weathered stones rise from the earth like broken teeth, slick with moss and rain. They form an imperfect ring around a central slab of rock, its surface worn smooth by centuries of hands. The air here is different, heavier, tinged with something metallic and electric, like the moment before lightning strikes. I slow, awe and dread warring inside me. This is it, I whisper. Rafe releases my wrist, stepping slightly aside but staying close. Too close. His presence is a solid heat at my side. Go on, he says quietly. The ritual needs your touch to finish. Finish what? The question hangs in my mind. I approach the central stone, each step loud in my own ears. The slab is chest-high and cold, streaked with faint, dark stains. I don't look at too closely. The storm has quieted overhead, as if the clouds are holding their breath. My scarred palm throbs. I hesitate, fingers hovering over the rock. What happens if I do this? My voice is barely more than breath. Rafe is silent for a moment. When he speaks, it sounds like it costs him something. An alpha is chosen, he murmurs. A bond is invoked. The pact between Hollow's End and the mountain renews, and the one tied to you will have no choice but to answer the call. His eyes burn into the side of my face. The meaning slips under my skin, unsettling and undeniable. The one tied to me, I echo. What does that mean? He takes a step closer, until I can feel the warmth of him at my back, a breath away, but not touching. His voice rumbles low. "It means," he says, "that from the moment your hand touches that stone, whether you know it or not, your fate won't be your own anymore." My heart lurches. A rogue howl shatters the moment, much closer now. Leaves rustle at the edge of the clearing. The hair on the back of my neck rises. No time. No time to think, to argue, to demand answers. I press my palm to the cold, slick stone. The world explodes in silver. Chapter 3. The bond that shouldn't exist. Silverlight slams into me. Cold, electric, blinding. The world tilts. The storm disappears. The forest vanishes. There is only light, rushing through me, around me, into me, filling every hollow space I didn't know existed. I can't breathe. I can't scream. My knees buckle, but something holds me upright. Not hands, not anything human. A force, a presence, ancient, wild. It coils around my ribs, threads through my heartbeat, pulls at my bones. My palm burns where it touches the stone, like molten metal is being poured through the scar. "Not alone," a voice whispers. Not in the air, not in my ears. Never alone. My mind fractures. My vision splinters. Images flash. Mountains under a blood-red moon. Silver eyes watching me from shadows. A man standing in a circle of fire, head thrown back as if in agony. A wolf pacing in a cage of lightning. My own face reflected in those pale, impossible eyes. Then, just as suddenly, it all stops. The clearing rushes back around me. Rain, moss, stone, trees swaying like they're breathing, and Rafe. He stands where he was, but different now. Tense, rigid, like he's bracing for an earthquake only he can feel. His chest rises and falls hard, too hard. His pupils are blown wide, almost swallowing the gray. He looks at me like I'm the end of the world. "What was that?" I whisper, breath trembling. He doesn't answer. He steps toward me instead. One slow, predatory move, boots sinking into wet leaves. There's something in the way he moves now. Something barely restrained. Something hungry. My pulse skitters. "Rafe?" My voice cracks. "Say something." But he doesn't speak. He reaches me in 2 more strides, moving like he's being pulled rather than choosing to walk. Rain drips from his hair, his jaw clenched tight enough to crack bone. "Rafe," I say again, softer. "You're scaring me." His hand shoots out. I flinch, but he doesn't grab me. His palm slams against the stone instead, right beside mine. His fingers brush my skin, just barely, but it's enough. The spark hits us both. He inhales sharply, head bowing. "Hell," he whispers. For a heartbeat, our palms rest inches apart on the stone. The air between them crackles like static, buzzing with some invisible current. I yank my hand back, cradling it to my chest. The burn on my palm glows faintly, the scar pulsing with pale light before fading. Rafe withdraws his hand slowly. The moment he does, the energy between us thins, but does not disappear. "What did that do to me?" I ask, voice shaking. "To you?" He doesn't meet my eyes. Exactly what I feared it would. Cold slides through me. "Which is what?" He finally looks at me, and the truth is right there in his gaze. Raw, desperate, furious. "You just bound yourself," he says quietly. "To me." My breath stops. "No." I take a step back. That can't... "It can," he cuts in, voice harsh. "It did. That's what the ritual chooses. An alpha, a protector, a mate." The word hits harder than the silver light. "Mate. No," I repeat, shaking my head so hard my damp hair whips water. "I don't know you. I didn't choose. Neither did I." His voice cracks like a fault line. "But the mountain doesn't care about our choices. It decides. And when you touch that stone..." He swallows, looking pained. "It chose me." My legs wobble. I steady myself on the nearest standing stone. This can't be real. This can't. Then another thought strikes me. When I touched you earlier, I whisper, in your other form. His jaw tightens. You shouldn't have seen that. You saved me, I snap. Twice. Are you seriously mad I noticed the giant wolf that dragged me out from under a rogue? That was before the bond. His eyes flash like storm lightning. I could at least control myself then. A chill curls through me. Control yourself? From what? He looks away, like he's afraid the answer will break me, or break him. Lightning flashes above the clearing. Thunder follows a heartbeat later. Rafe, I whisper, what does this bond mean? You'll feel things, he says softly. Pulls, instincts, echoes of mine. If I shift, you'll sense it. If you're in danger, I'll feel it like it's my own skin being torn. My heart hammers painfully. And you? I whisper. He laughs. But it's not humor. It's agony. I feel everything you feel. Every fear. Every heartbeat. His eyes flick to my mouth, and his throat bobs. Every damn thing. Heat blooms low in my stomach at the way he says it, at the hunger buried deep in that tone. But fear snarls right behind it. This doesn't make sense, I breathe. I can't just. I'm not part of any pack. I'm human. I can't be bound to. A wolf, he finishes. I go still. He said it so easily, so plainly. You're not denying it anymore, I say quietly. He steps back like I hit him. You weren't supposed to know yet, he murmurs. None of this was supposed to happen. The rogues weren't supposed to attack. The ritual wasn't supposed to bind you to me. His eyes harden, full of something sharp and self-loathing. And I sure as hell wasn't supposed to touch that stone. Then why did you? His breath shudders out. Because you were dying. Because I. He breaks off, voice strangled. Because I couldn't not go to you. A tremor races through me from the inside out. His reaction, his intensity, the way the wolf had defended me like I was something precious. The way Rafe looks at me now, like he's fighting the urge to step closer and tear himself away all at once. I don't understand, I whisper. You will, he says, but right now, we need to move. Move? Rafe, I just bonded myself to. A growl rolls into the clearing, low, menacing. Too close. All the hairs on my arms rise. Rafe's head snaps toward the trees, his entire body shifting, from tense to deadly in a single breath. They followed us, he hisses. My heart lurches. How many? He steps in front of me, blocking my view. Too many. Shapes flicker between the trees. Eyes glow yellow in the dark. The rogues. A whole pack of them. Rafe glances back at me. Expression torn between fury and something far more fragile. I need you to trust me, he murmurs. I don't. He grabs my hand, my burned palm, and the spark slams through us again, fierce and violent. My breath catches. His voice drops to a low, trembling growl. Don't run from me. Not now. Not ever. My pulse jumps. Before I can answer, before I can breathe, he lifts my hand to his lips. Not to kiss, to scent. His eyes flare silver. Then he steps away, shoves me behind one of the stones, and his body begins to change. Sudden, violent, beautiful. Bones grind and reshape. Muscles stretch. Darkness ripples across his skin like ink spilling over water. A snarl tears from his throat as black fur bursts along his spine. I clap a hand over my mouth, backing against the cold stone as the man becomes the silver-eyed wolf. Bigger, darker, more terrifying than before. He lands on all fours with a thud that shakes the earth. The rogues step into the clearing. He steps between them and me, and when he growls, the sound shakes the air itself. The bond pulses in my chest. Hot, electric, undeniable. Whatever I am now, whatever he is, we are in this together, whether we want to be or not. Chapter 4. When the wolf bleeds. The clearing erupts. The rogues surge from the tree line. 3, then 5, then more. Shapes of shadow and fur, their yellow eyes burning with a hunger that has nothing to do with the hunt. My breath catches in my throat. Rafe, no, the wolf, plants himself between them and me. Shoulders broad, head lowered, a snarl ripping from deep in his chest. His silver eyes blaze, bright as moonlight cutting through storm clouds. The sound vibrates through the ground, through my ribs, through the strange new tether burning between us. One of the larger rogues lunges first. Rafe meets it midair. The collision is a thunderclap. Fur, claws, teeth slamming together in a tangle of raw fury. The rogue yelps as Rafe tears into its flank, sending it skidding across the stones. Another rogue darts toward Rafe's exposed side. "Rafe!" I shout before I can stop myself. He moves as if he heard me, felt me, whirling with impossible speed, slashing claws catching the rogue's shoulder. Blood sprays, dark against the rain-wet air. But there are too many. 2 circle wide toward the stones, toward me. My stomach drops. No, no, no. I scramble back, palms slipping on wet moss. A rogue lunges, snapping jaws inches from my face as I duck behind a standing stone. The smell of its breath, rot and old blood, makes my eyes sting. I grab a fist-sized rock and swing wildly. It connects. The rogue recoils with a snarl, giving me just enough time to scramble to my feet and dart toward a gap between the stones. "Lena!" Rafe's voice echoes in me, not through my ears, but through the bond, a raw, desperate pulse. I don't have time to wonder how. A rogue leaps to intercept me, and Rafe slams into it from the side, jaws locking onto its neck. The impact throws both wolves into a tumble of claws and snarls. The rogue writhes, snapping back with feral rage, but Rafe drives it into the earth, muscles bunching, teeth sinking deeper, until the forest goes eerily, horribly quiet. The rogue goes limp. Rafe's chest heaves. His silver eyes flick to me. Something soft flickers there. Brief, fragile, terrifying. Then another rogue hits him. Hard. Rafe is thrown sideways, crashing into a stone with a sickening thud. A choked yelp escapes him. Pain and surprise and fury. "Rafe!" I cry, stumbling toward him. More rogues converge. One snaps at his hind leg. Another claws at his shoulder. Rafe fights back, but he's bleeding now. Dark patches spreading along his fur. There are too many. My vision tunnels. My breath shatters. Something inside me burns. Fear. Rage. The bond screaming like a live wire. Do something. The thought pounds with every heartbeat. I grab the first branch I see, thick, jagged, half-rotten, and hurl myself at the rogue grabbing onto Rafe's leg. "Get away from him!" It turns on me, snarling, and I swing. Pure instinct. The branch cracks against its skull. The rogue staggers, giving Rafe just enough time to twist free and clamp his jaws around its throat. I don't watch it fall. Another rogue lunges toward me. Rafe whips around, snarling so violently the air trembles. He slashes at the rogue, driving it back before it can reach me. But he's slowing, bleeding, outnumbered. Lightning cracks above us, illuminating the chaos. The circle of stones, the snarling wolves, the silver-eyed alpha fighting to stay upright. And then a new sound cuts through everything. A howl, low, deep, commanding. Nothing like the rogues. It rolls through the forest like thunder, vibrating in my bones. Every rogue freezes. Rafe does too. Even the rain seems to pause. Then, slowly, reluctantly, the rogues back away from Rafe. Their ears flatten, their heads bow, and one by one, they slink back into the darkness of the trees. Silence crashes down. Only the rain remains. I stand there shaking, clutching my useless branch, staring at the empty shadows where the rogues vanished. What just happened? Rafe staggers. My heart lurches, his legs buckle, and he collapses onto his side, chest heaving, fur soaked in rain and streaked with blood. Rafe. I drop to my knees beside him, hands flying uselessly over his massive shoulder. His fur is warm, too warm, and slick with blood. He lets out a low, pained rumble that vibrates through my palms. "You idiot," I whisper, tears hot despite the cold rain. "You could have died." His silver eyes lift to mine. The bond hums, weak but present, like a fragile, glowing thread pulling us together. "Lena," the whisper shivers through me. Not spoken, not human, not entirely wolf. A fractured mix of instinct and raw emotion. He nudges my arm with his muzzle. I swallow hard. "Don't do that. Don't act like you're comforting me when you're the one bleeding everywhere." His breath warms my wrist in a weak huff. It's absurd, terrifying, unbearably tender. "I need you to shift back," I say, voice breaking. "I need to see how bad it is." He tries. I feel it. The bond pulses, heat flaring in my chest as his body tenses, fur rippling. But the transformation stutters halfway. His muscles seize. Pain rips through him. He collapses again with a harsh, strangled growl. "Stop!" I cry. My hands fly to his head, smoothing his fur. "Stop. It's hurting you. Just stay in this form, please." The tension drains from his body. His breathing steadies. Not enough. But enough to keep me from screaming. My heart races so hard it hurts. I'm kneeling in the middle of the ancient stone circle, cradling the head of a massive wolf, who is also the man I'm apparently bound to by some ancient, magical ritual. And he's bleeding in my arms. What am I supposed to do? My voice trembles. "You saved me. And I can't even—" His eyes open a little wider. He nudges me again. "Mate," the bond whispers. Not a word exactly, but the pure feeling behind it. Recognition. Claim. Fear. Not fear of me. Fear for me. My throat tightens painfully. "You can't stay here," I whisper. "If the rogues regroup, if whatever called them off changes its mind." Thunder rolls across the ridge. The forest watches with ancient, hungry patience. "I have to get you out," I murmur. "Somewhere safe." Rafe's tail twitches weakly, like he's trying to tell me something. His body shifts, trying again to stand, but his foreleg buckles. Without thinking, I throw my shoulder under his, pushing with everything I have. He rises, barely, leaning heavily against me, his weight nearly crushing, his warmth bleeding into my cold skin. "Okay," I grunt. "Ow, nope. We're doing this. Slowly. Very slowly." Step by step, we stagger toward the shelter of the closest trees. Every breath he takes sounds like it hurts. Every step I take feels like stepping deeper into something inescapable. And the whole time, the bond hums softly between us. Faint, but present. Like a heartbeat that doesn't belong to either of us alone. When we finally reach a shallow, moss-covered overhang beneath a rocky ledge, Rafe collapses again, panting. I drop to my knees beside him, rain dripping from my hair, my hands shaking. "You're going to be okay," I whisper. I don't know if it's true. But he lifts his head just enough to rest it in my lap, warm and heavy and trusting. The breath leaves my lungs. Slowly, with trembling fingers, I stroke the fur along his neck. He exhales, long and shaky, his eyes fluttering closed. I sit there in the rain-dark shelter, holding him, my heartbeat sinking with his through the faint glow of the bond. And a truth settles over me like a shiver. I'm not afraid of him. I'm afraid of what losing him would do to me. The storm rumbles overhead, and somewhere in the forest beyond, something watches us, waiting. The bond pulses once, weak but certain. This is only the beginning. Chapter 5. Moonblood and Secrets. Rafe's breathing steadies enough that I risk stepping back from him, just long enough to tear open the soaked remains of my jacket and use the cloth to wipe blood from his flank. The rain has slowed to a mist. The forest feels different now, quieter, but not safer, like the storm is holding its breath, waiting for something to break. Rafe watches me with half-lidded silver eyes. The trust there twists something deep in my stomach. Not gentle, but sharp, like a hook. You're losing too much blood, I murmur, brushing wet fur from a deep gash on his shoulder. My fingers tremble. I need to stop it. He huffs softly, a barely there sound, half reassurance, half stubbornness. You can't pretend you're fine. You're not. I press harder against the wound. He jerks in pain, growling low. The vibration travels straight into my bones. Through the bond, I feel a faint echo of the sting, a ghost of pain, sharp enough to steal my breath. I'm not sure if that's comforting or horrifying. Sorry, I whisper, gentler now. I know it hurts. His gaze softens. There's something unbearably intimate about being watched by a creature who could tear my throat out with ease, yet looks at me like I'm the only thing keeping him tethered to this world. You saved me, I murmur. Let me save you too. I don't know how long I sit there tending his wounds. Minutes. An hour. Time feels strange. Thick and slow. Like the world is forcing us into this moment whether we're ready or not. Eventually Rafe shifts, lifting his head, pushing shakily to his feet. Hey, no, lie down. I put a hand on his fur to keep him from falling. He nudges my shoulder insistently. What? What are you... He steps back, putting a few inches of space between us. His breath shudders. Then he begins to change. The sound is soft, almost gentle this time. Bones shifting, fur receding, muscles sliding under skin like liquid. I blink, heart pounding as the wolf melts away, leaving Rafe on his hands and knees, breath ragged, skin slick with sweat and rain. Oh my God. I drop beside him. Rafe. He lifts his head. His silver eyes are still too bright, too wild. I'm okay, he rasps. I just needed my voice. He is not okay. Blood streaks his bare chest and arms. Gashes crisscross his side. But he's human again, if barely. Lie down, I insist. He does. Not gracefully. I tear strips from my shirt and press them against the worst of the wounds. His jaw clenches at the contact, muscles twitching beneath my fingers. How did you shift back? I ask softly. You couldn't before. The bond, he murmurs. It steadies things, anchors me. His gaze meets mine, intense and unbearably sincere. You anchor me. Heat spikes in my chest. I look away. That's unfair, I whisper. He huffs a broken laugh. Trust me. I agree. For a moment, the only sound is his breathing and the soft patter of rain on stone. Rafe, I say finally, you have to tell me what's going on. His eyes close briefly. I will. No more half answers. No more cryptic warnings. His jaw flexes. Lena, please. When he opens his eyes again, the softness is gone. What remains is something heavier, older. The Avonrose didn't leave Hollow's End, he says slowly, not voluntarily. We were forced out, driven into the mountains. By who? The elders. His voice cracks like a tree splitting under lightning. They feared the bloodline, feared what the Avonroe wolves could become. My stomach sinks. Become? He hesitates, then sits up despite the pain, leaning back against the rock wall. The moonlight finds him through the dripping branches, washing over the hard lines of his face. My family carries the moonblood curse, he says. The word curse hits like a cold gust down my spine. You shift stronger than other wolves? I ask. Stronger, he says. Faster. Harder to control. His eyes darken. Some of us lose ourselves. The rogues you saw? Many were once Avonroe wolves. The realization hits me like a fist. The rogues were your pack. Once, he murmurs, before the curse twisted them. His voice drops to a harsh whisper. Before I lost them. I sink beside him, knees brushing his thigh. Rafe, I'm sorry. He doesn't flinch from the grief in his eyes. The elders called it fate. Said the mountain chose who would turn rogue and who wouldn't. They wanted control over us, over the power the Avonroes carried, so they made us outlaws. His breath shakes. They drove us into the wild and told the town we left by choice. My hands tremble in my lap. That's why the rogues attacked me. They're not just random monsters. They were drawn to the ritual, Rafe finishes, to the bond forming, to the alpha being chosen. And the bond chose. I swallow. You. His eyes soften, but his voice is raw. I didn't want it to. It hurts more than it should. I didn't either. His expression fractures. I know, and I'm sorry. For dragging you into this, for being the one the stone called. The stone didn't just call him, it pulled him. And me. But the question has been clawing at me since the moment the light hit. Rafe, would the ritual have chosen you, even if we hadn't touched? He finishes, voice low. I meet his gaze. Yes. A single drop of rain slides down his jaw before he speaks. Yes. My heart stutters. How do you know? Because the mountain has been whispering your name to me for months. The forest goes very still. What? My voice barely exists. He drags a hand through his wet hair, wincing when it brushes a bruise on his temple. I didn't understand it. I didn't believe it. I thought the bond was calling early, testing me. But the closer the initiation came, he lifts his gaze to mine, silver bright and unbearably vulnerable. The louder your name became. I'm shaken. You knew me before tonight, I whisper. Not your face. His voice trembles. But your scent, your heartbeat, your soul. I knew them long before I ever saw you. My breath catches painfully. Rafe, I tried to stay away. I tried to fight the instinct, but the moment I scented your fear in the woods, he shuts his eyes, jaw clenching. I couldn't stop myself. I ran to you. Silence stretches, thick, humming, intimate. The bond pulses faintly between us, like a heartbeat sinking. I swallow hard. So what happens now? He lets out a slow, ragged breath. Now, he says quietly, the mountain expects me to claim my role, become the alpha, protect my mate, lead what's left of the Avonroes. And me? His gaze snaps to mine. Something fierce glows there. You survive, he says, because if anything happens to you, the bond will destroy us both. A chill runs down my spine. Destroy us? He nods once. A broken mate bond unravels the wolf from the inside. It's not just emotion. It's instinct. Magic. Fate. My breath comes fast and shallow. And what if I don't want this bond? I whisper. Something dark flickers across his face. The ritual chose you, he says softly. Fate chose us. I can't break the bond. A pause. But you could. My stomach drops. How? By rejecting me. The words fall like a winter wind, cold, sharp, unforgiving. I don't even know what that means, I whisper. It means you walk away, he says quietly. And I let you. His voice shakes on the last word. And the curse, I ask. He looks haunted. It would grow stronger in me without you. Faster. Meaning he would lose control. Meaning the wolf, the dangerous, cursed one inside him, would eventually take over. Rafe, I whisper, horror twisting inside me. You'd become like them. Like the rogues. If you reject me, he says. Yes. Tears sting my eyes. Not from fear of him, but from the crushing weight of what the mountain has forced between us. He reaches out, slowly, touching the back of my hand with 2 fingers. The spark is soft this time, not overwhelming, just real. You have a choice, he murmurs, even if fate thinks I don't. I stare at our hands, barely touching. Rafe, I say softly, look at me. He lifts his eyes, vulnerable, fierce, terrified. I'm not walking away tonight. Relief breaks across his face so raw it almost hurts to see. But before he can respond, branches snap outside the shelter. Rafe's head snaps up. His pupils dilate. Not a rogue, not the storm. Something else moves in the darkness. He shifts halfway, muscles tensing, teeth lengthening, senses sharpening. Rafe, I whisper. Someone's been tracking us, he growls. Not a wolf. My blood freezes. Then a shadow steps into the mouth of the overhang, and Elder Rowan appears. His cloak drips rain. His eyes gleam with something cold and triumphant. Found you, he says softly. Rafe's snarl shakes the ground, and the bond erupts like fire in my chest. Chapter 6. The Elder's Betrayal. Rafe is on his feet before I can blink. Not fully shifted, thank God, but hovering on the razor edge of it. Muscles coiled, pupils blown wide, breath coming slow and predatory through clenched teeth. His silhouette fills the narrow shelter. Half man, half monster. All instinct. Rowan doesn't flinch. If anything, he looks satisfied. As if this, finding me blood-soaked, trembling, crouched beside a half-shifted Avonroe wolf, is exactly what he'd hoped for. Step away from him, Lena, Rowan says calmly. The command is quiet, but it cuts through the dripping silence with terrifying authority. I don't move. Rafe's growl rumbles deep in his chest. Rowan's gaze flicks to him with thinly veiled disdain. Shift back, boy. You are in the presence of your betters. The air crackles. Rafe doesn't shift, doesn't move, but the sound that tears from him, low, vibrating deadly, makes the stones tremble. Rowan's lips twitch. You see, Lena, this is what the Avonroes are, what they've always been. Beasts masquerading as men. A cold spike stabs into my stomach. You're wrong, I say, voice hoarse. Rowan's brows rise. Am I? Look at him, barely holding his form, barely holding himself back from ripping my throat out. He saved me, I snap. Twice. Rowan's expression darkens. Of course he did. The bond demands it. My breath falters. He knows. He knew all along. You set me up, I whisper. Didn't you? Something flickers across Rowan's face. Something triumphant. The initiation exists for a reason. Every few years, when the mountain stirs, someone must be offered to determine where the balance lies, who the bond will choose. And you chose me? You were the perfect option. His tone is maddeningly casual. Alone, rootless, desperate to belong. The words land like a slap. Rafe snarls and steps forward. Rowan lifts a single hand in warning. Easy, Wolf, he murmurs. The girl might not survive you in this state. Rafe freezes. A muscle jumps in his jaw. His claws half form, then retract. His chest heaves with the effort of holding himself back. The bond throbs between us. Fear, anger, protectiveness, blurring into a single, pulsing ache. You knew the Avonroe wolves were near, I say slowly. You knew the rogues might attack. That I might... My throat tightens. Die. Rowan's smile is small, chilling. Sacrifice is the cost of tradition. Rafe lunges. I react without thinking, grabbing his wrist with both hands. Rafe, stop. The bond flares hot, forcing him back into human form with a painful shudder. He collapses to one knee, breathing raggedly. Rowan laughs softly. Fascinating. The bond truly took. Why are you here? I demand. To finish what the mountain started. Rafe forces himself upright, eyes blazing silver. This isn't the mountain. It's you. For the good of Hollow's End, Rowan corrects. You Avonroes have brought nothing but chaos. Death. The curse cannot be allowed to strengthen. He gestures casually toward Rafe's wounds. The fact that you shifted in such a weakened state only proves how unstable your bloodline is. Rafe's voice is a snarl. Unstable, because your elders hunted us for decades. Rowan ignores him. His attention fixes on me. You have one chance to break this bond, he says. Reject him now, Lena, before it's too late. My heart stutters. Rafe stiffens beside me. Silent, but the pain that ripples through the bond nearly cracks me open. Rejecting him would kill him, I whisper. Rowan's look is pitying. The boy was doomed the moment his family inherited the Moonblood curse. You do him no favors by prolonging it. Rafe's jaw clenches. His hands curl into fists. Lena, he murmurs, voice trembling. Don't listen to him. Enough. Rowan's voice sharpens. The bond must be severed before he becomes like the others. No, I snap. Rowan's eyes narrow. You don't understand what you're dealing with. These creatures... Rafe steps forward with a growl. Creature. The word slices through him, through the bond, through me. I move without thinking, placing myself between them. Rowan's eyes widen in disbelief and disgust. You defend him? He asks quietly. He saved my life. And he will take it, Rowan replies. All cursed Avonroes eventually succumb. Even the strongest, even... His gaze flicks to Rafe. The Alpha. Rafe bristles. I have more control than you ever gave us credit for. Prove it, Rowan replies smoothly. Stand fully human. No claws, no teeth, no instincts. Rafe trembles, the bond trembles with him. He tries, God, he tries. But the exertion, the blood loss, the proximity of a threat. His arm ripples, fur flickering along his forearm. His teeth sharpen. His breath breaks. Rowan tilts his head. You see? Rafe bites back a snarl, but the sound still tears through his chest. Stop, I say fiercely. You're provoking him on purpose. And you are proving my point, Rowan murmurs. You think this wolf will protect you? He brought danger to your doorstep the moment he scented you. Rafe steps closer, eyes dark with fury. Rowan's hand slips beneath his cloak. Rafe reacts before I do. Lena, move. I turn, too late. A flash of silver arcs toward us. A blade. No, a ritual blade, engraved with runes, reeking of old blood and iron. Rafe tackles me out of its path. We hit the ground hard, his arms around me, his body covering mine as the blade slices the air where my head had been a moment earlier. Enough, Rafe snarls, half-shifted. You want me? Fine. But leave her out of this. Rowan's expression remains calm, almost bored. I can't. She's the key. Cold floods my veins. Key? To what? Rowan steps forward. To the Alpha's cage. The words hang in the air like poison. Rafe stiffens. You didn't. Rowan's smile widens. Did you wonder why the rogues never crossed the valley? Why they remained trapped on the mountain's far edge? Why the curse never spread beyond your family? Rafe's breathing falters. I whisper, Rowan. What did you do? The Avonroe wolves were bound by blood magic generations ago. Rowan's voice is cold, proud. A magical cage, powered by the bond of the Chosen One. Powered by you, Lena. The world tilts. You're saying, I whisper, that the ritual wasn't to choose an alpha. No, Rowan says softly. It was to create a lock. And you, my dear, are the key that keeps the Avonroe curse contained. My blood goes cold. Rafe goes still behind me. Too still. You used her, he whispers. You used all of them. Every initiation. Every sacrifice. Rowan's eyes gleam. A small price to protect Hollow's end. You monster, Rafe growls. Rowan shrugs, unfazed. The bond between you and this girl will strengthen the curse's hold, lock you away where you belong. Soon, you won't be able to leave these mountains. My stomach drops. That's why the rogues came after me, I whisper. They sensed the ritual, the cage, the magic. They wanted to break it. Rowan nods. And now, he says softly, pulling the blade again, I finish what the mountain began. He lifts the knife, and Rafe moves. He shifts mid-lunge, bones cracking, fur exploding from skin, claws ripping from fingers, becoming the wolf in less than a heartbeat. He hits Rowan like a storm. The elder slams into the ground, the blade skittering across the stone. Rafe's snarl shakes the air. I scramble toward the fallen knife, but Rowan's hand shoots out, grabbing my ankle. Pain explodes. I fall hard. Rafe whirls toward me, eyes blazing. Rowan lifts a second blade, smaller, hidden, aiming for Rafe's exposed throat. No! I scream. Instinct takes me. The bond takes me. I throw myself between them, and Rowan's blade slices across my palm. Blood splashes the stones. My blood. The bond detonates. A silver shockwave erupts from my hand, blasting Rowan backward into the rock wall. He collapses unconscious. Rafe staggers, half wolf, half man, eyes wild, chest heaving, as the magic ripples through the clearing like a living thing. The world spins. I collapse to my knees, clutching my burning palm. Rafe, still trembling from the transformation, crawls to me, pressing his forehead to mine, snarling softly at my injury. Through the bond, I feel his panic, his pain, his fury. Lena, he rasps, half human, half animal. What did you do? I broke something, I whisper. I don't know what. His silver eyes meet mine, and in them I see it. Whatever just happened, whatever magic burst from my blood. It wasn't part of Rowan's plan. It wasn't part of anyone's plan, and neither of us has any idea what I'd just unleashed. Chapter 7. Blood and Fire. The clearing is silent except for the drip of rain and the ragged sound of Rafe's breathing. His chest heaves as he shifts back halfway, wolf form flickering in and out like smoke caught in wind. I clutch my burned palm, feeling the searing pulse of magic radiating from it, the bond between us humming violently. Rafe lowers his head, pressing his forehead to mine. Lena, he whispers, voice raw, silver eyes burning. Are you hurt badly? I'll survive, I gasp. It's just a cut. But it's more than that. The palm burns, tingling with energy I don't understand, and when I glance down at it, faint runes, glowing faint silver, have etched themselves into the skin. The pain isn't physical. It's alive. Rafe's gaze narrows. The bond. It reacted to Rowan. To your blood. What do you mean? My voice trembles. He lifts his injured shoulder and flexes his fingers, fur flickering along his arms as the half-shift strains him. It didn't just protect you. It fought back against him. Your blood. It's stronger than I realized. That ritual, it wasn't meant to bond you. It was meant to control you, but something in you rejected it. The bond, our bond, fired back. I swallow hard. So, what did I just do? Rafe's gaze sweeps the clearing, silver eyes scanning the shadows. You just broke the Elder's magic, possibly forever. The thought makes my stomach lurch. Breaking Rowan's control might be dangerous, if not for us, then for Hollow's End. But the bond between us thrums, heated and unrelenting, and I can't deny the surge of exhilaration that runs through me. We need to move, Rafe says suddenly, his voice low, guttural. They'll come back. I glance toward the trees. The forest is unnaturally quiet. Too quiet. The rogues aren't gone forever. And Rowan. I don't think he's out for the count. I can't carry you fully in your wolf form, I say, scrambling to my feet. Dripping rainwater and mud. But maybe we can get you to the ridge. Shelter. Then we figure out what's next. Rafe snarls softly. No, you'll get yourself killed if we try to climb the ridge like this. I survived your wolves, I retort, trying to inject some bravado. I can handle some rocks and mud. He growls low in his throat, frustrated, furious, but the bond hums, pulling us together. I know what he's feeling. Protectiveness, desperation, a silent plea that I don't ignore him. Fine, he mutters. Walk fast, and try not to fall into a crevice, or I swear. His lips twitch into a half-snarl, half-smile. I'll drag you up myself. I can't help a small laugh despite the tension. It's absurd, dangerous, terrifying. But somehow, it feels like the first time I've laughed in months. We move, Rafe leaning on me heavily. Each step he takes sends shivers through me. Not fear, but something magnetic, unbearable, and forbidden. My own pulse races, thumping in sync with the silver beat of the bond. Halfway up the ridge, he collapses against a boulder, panting. Rainwater runs down his face, mixing with the blood streaked along his jaw. I kneel beside him, hands trembling as I brush wet hair from his forehead. You can't keep pushing like this, I say softly. You'll collapse before we reach the ridge. He shakes his head, eyes silver and intense. Not a chance. His voice catches. You're mine. I won't let them touch you. Not Rowan. Not the rogues. Not anyone. The words hit me like lightning. Mine. Not in the casual, possessive sense of humans, but in the deep, primal, soul-level pull of something older than reason. The bond thrums, hot and urgent, like it's alive, binding us tighter with every heartbeat. I feel a flush of heat, embarrassment, and something else. It's dangerous, thrilling. I'm not sure I understand this, I admit softly. This bond, this feeling. He tilts his head, silver eyes flicking down at my face, then my lips. You will. Eventually, it will be impossible to ignore. The mountain decided. The bond knows. And so do I. I swallow, mind spinning. You knew me before tonight. Yes. His gaze burns into mine. Your scent. Your fear. Your blood. I've known it for months. It was waiting for you. For me. And now. His lips part, sharp and hesitant. Now nothing can separate us. I glance down at my palm, the glowing runes pulsing faintly. Heat and electricity curl through my veins like liquid fire. What did I just do to you? You bonded me to you, he says quietly, voice low and raw, half human, half wolf, and somehow now fully mine. Because the mountain, the bond, they don't just choose, they claim. My heart pounds painfully. But this bond, it's dangerous. Yes. His voice drops, a growl rumbling in his chest. It's dangerous, and it's deadly, and it will kill us if we don't survive together. I shiver, the enormity of it pressing down on me. My palm pulses, my blood hums, and somewhere deep in my bones I know he's right. We are tethered in a way that can't be undone, not by magic, not by choice, not even by death. Then we survive, I whisper. Rafe lifts his head, silver eyes gleaming. Then we survive. Together. The words are fierce, feral, and strangely tender all at once. My chest aches. My fingers curl against his fur, against his skin, against the bond itself. Thunder cracks overhead. The storm is returning. The rogues aren't gone. Rowan isn't out of the game. But for the first time, I feel dangerous. Fragile, overwhelming, hope. We move again, step by step, up the slick mountainside. Rain pours, mud clings, my muscles scream. But every glance at Rafe, the half-shifted wolf, the silver-eyed alpha, the man claiming me without asking, fuels me. The bond pulses brighter, stronger, as if sensing what I cannot yet comprehend. We are bound, fated, and the storm is just beginning. Behind the ridge, shadows move. I hear them before I see them. The rogues are regrouping. But this time, I am not alone. And neither is he. The bond throbs, pulls, commands, protects, warns. It whispers a single truth between us. No one touches my mate. No one survives. Not even the storm. Not even Hollow's End. Not even the mountain itself. We climb toward the ridge, toward the circle, toward our fate. And neither of us knows what comes next. But one thing is certain. Nothing will ever be the same again. Chapter 8. The breaking point. The climb becomes a battle of breath and will. Cold rain turns to a biting drizzle, needling my skin. The ridge looms above us. Dark stone against darker sky, jagged and unforgiving. Rafe leans heavily on me, half-shifted, his muscles trembling under my hands. Every few minutes he stops, panting, eyes flickering silver as he fights the wolf inside him. The bond pulses with each heartbeat, hot, insistent, scared. We're close, I whisper, though I have no idea if it's true. Just a little farther. Rafe's voice comes low and strained. I should be carrying you, not the other way around. You're injured, and you're exhausted. He doesn't say the rest, and I can feel it. My exhaustion runs through the bond, echoing in him. His pain echoes in me. We're tangled so tightly I can't tell where I end, and he begins. Save your strength, I murmur. Argue with me when you're not bleeding everywhere. He huffs a humorless laugh and sways. Rafe. I grab him before he slides down the muddy slope. His weight nearly pulls us both down. Stop. We need to rest. He shakes his head, hair plastered to his forehead with rain. It's not safe. Rowan isn't working alone. My stomach clenches. You mean the elders know where we are? No. His eyes darken. Worse. A branch snaps behind us. Not the delicate crack of a deer. Not the soft rustle of wind. Something heavier, purposeful. Rafe pushes me behind him, instinct overriding exhaustion. Get back. That's not Lena. His voice leaves no room for argument. Now. I step behind him, heart pounding. The forest goes unnaturally still. Then, a figure materializes through the trees. Tall, broad, human, at first glance. Cloaked in pelts, face shadowed. Rain drenches him, sliding off his shoulders like he doesn't feel it. Rafe's breath catches. "Oh no," he whispers. Not him. A fresh spike of fear slices through me. Who is that? The man steps closer and the air changes. Charged, vibrating, electric. "Rafe," he says in a low, gravelly voice. "You look like hell." Rafe's lip curls. "Damien." A cold rush floods my veins. Damien. The name carries weight, threat, power. "Another Avonroe?" I ask, voice trembling. Rafe answers without taking his eyes off him. "Former second in command. Before he went rogue." Damien smiles, showing the faintest lengthening of his canine teeth. Not fully shifted, but close. "You make it sound like I chose this," Damien says softly. "You know better. The curse chooses who it breaks first." Rafe snarls. "You gave into it." Damien shrugs. "And you're pretending you won't." He steps forward again, and the world tilts. The bond between Rafe and me slams tight, like someone grabbing it with both hands and yanking. My palm burns, runes flaring bright. Rafe stumbles, clutching his chest. "What's happening?" I choke. Damien's eyes flick to my glowing hand, then Rafe's trembling form. Understanding dawns. Slow, wicked. "Well," he murmurs. "Isn't this interesting?" Rafe growls, fury shaking his entire body. "Stay away from her." Damien's smile widens. "The mate bond. The mountain chose you." He laughs, a dark, broken sound. "Of course it did. The curse always picks the strongest to shatter." Rafe lunges, shifting violently mid-step, but collapses halfway, knees hitting the ground. Rain splashes off his skin. His claws retract, then extend, then retract again. A fight with himself. The wolf wants out. The man wants control. The bond is the only thing holding him together and tearing him apart. Damien watches him disintegrate with something like pity. "You're halfway gone already. You can't even hold your form." "Shut up," Rafe snarls, forcing himself to stand. Sweat and rain mixing on his skin. "I am not like you." Not yet. I move before I can think, stepping in front of Rafe. "Enough," I say, voice steady, though my knees shake. He's hurt. "If you want to fight someone, fight me." Rafe's roar echoes through the ridge. "Lena!" Damien lifts a brow. Brave, stupid, but brave. Rafe tries to shove me behind him, tries to move forward, but he can't. The bond tightens, burning through my veins, anchoring him to me. He's too hurt, too drained, too close to losing control, and Damien knows it. "You're not in any state to protect her," Damien says quietly. "But I can." Rafe snarls, voice breaking. "You stay away from her." Damien's expression shifts, eyes softening with something like sorrow. "Rafe, the elders have been hunting your line for generations. They've poisoned Hollow's End against us, lied about us, used every initiation to strengthen the cage that keeps us trapped here." His gaze flicks to me. Her blood didn't just break the magic. It weakened the barrier. The rogues feel it. The mountain feels it. The whole pack feels it. The whole pack. My heart stutters. "How many of you are left?" Damien's jaw tightens. "Not enough." Rafe steps forward, shaking. "Damien, don't do this. Whatever you think is happening. I'm not here to kill you," Damien says. "I'm here to take you both." Rafe stiffens. "Over my dead body." "That can be arranged," Damien replies. Then he moves. Fast. Too fast. He slams into Rafe with a force that knocks both of them down the slope. Mud splashes. Claws flash. Rafe shifts violently, fur exploding across his arms, teeth lengthening. But his injuries slow him. Damien pins him easily. "Stop!" I scream, sliding down the ridge toward them. Damien's head snaps toward me. Rafe uses the distraction to shove him off. Barely. They both lunge at once. I don't think. I don't choose. The bond chooses for me. I fling myself between them, and Rafe's claws, meant for Damien, slash across my ribs instead. Pain blinds me. I hit the ground hard, breath knocked out of me, the world spinning violently. A raw cry tears from my throat as blood spills down my side. Rafe freezes mid-attack. His claws drip with my blood. His eyes go impossibly wide. No, he breathes. Human voice. Shaking. Broken. No. 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 The bond detonates like lightning. Silver light bursts from my chest, slamming into Rafe. He flies backward, hitting a tree with enough force to crack it. A strangled sound leaves him. Half wolf, half human. Pure anguish. I clutch my side, vision blurring. Damien crouches beside me, eyes flicking over my wound. Easy, he says, almost gently. You stepped between wolves. That's how you die. My breath shakes. Don't touch me. Damien stands slowly. Rafe. Rafe crawls toward me on hands and knees, barely able to see straight, barely able to breathe. I hurt you, he whispers, voice cracking. Lena, I hurt you. His hands hover over my wound, trembling violently. His anguish courses through the bond, raw, shattering, suffocating. Damien exhales. He'll destroy this entire mountain if you die. Rafe's eyes snap to him. Silver, wild, devastated. Help me, Rafe whispers, begs. Please. I've never heard someone sound so desperate. Damien steps closer. I can help her, he says. But if I do, you owe me. Rafe's jaw clenches. Anything. Damien kneels, pressing his hands near my wound. Not touching it, but close. His magic thrums through the air, colder than Rafe's. Older. Rougher. The pain in my side lessens slightly, the bleeding slowing. You'll live, he murmurs, but move fast. Rafe lifts me carefully into his arms, cradling me against his chest. His body is shaking. Anger, fear, regret, tearing through him. I'm sorry, he keeps whispering. I'm so sorry. The bond pulses weakly in response, warm and forgiving despite the pain. Damien steps back into the shadows. We're not done, he warns. The barrier is falling, the pack is waking, and the elders are hunting you both. Rafe bares his teeth. Let them try. Damien's eyes flick to me, unreadable. Take her to the ritual cave. It's the only place you'll be safe. Rafe nods once, clutching me tighter. He begins to run. Every step jostles my ribs, sending waves of pain through me. But I cling to him, burying my face against his chest. Stay awake, he whispers. Talk to me. Look at me. Anything. I try. But the world is going dark. You can't leave me, he says, voice breaking entirely. Lena, you can't. My fingers curl weakly into his shirt. I'm not leaving, I breathe, though I'm not sure he hears it. The last thing I feel before unconsciousness pulls me under is his lips pressed to my forehead. Shaking, desperate, reverent. The bond pulses once. Then everything goes black. Chapter 9. The Heart of the Ritual Cave. Warm arms hold me. Cold wind cuts across my skin. Pain pulses in my ribs like a second heartbeat. But underneath all of that, steady, anchoring, and terrifyingly alive, is the bond. Lena, stay with me. Stay awake. Rafe's voice threads through the darkness, through the haze, through the pain. It's not sound. It's instinct. It's a command wrapped in fear. I try to open my eyes. The world swims. Stone walls blur past. Dark. Slick with mineral shimmer. The air smells different here. Colder. Older. Metallic. Not forest. Not rain. A cave. His breath is ragged above me. his arms locked around me like a vow he refuses to release. "Hush," he murmurs, brushing his cheek against my temple. "I've got you. Just breathe." I try. A wheezing gasp escapes me. The pain flares like fire. He curses under his breath, raw, helpless. "Damien didn't heal enough," he says. "I should have never let him touch you. Should have never—" I cut him off with a weak, broken whisper. "Rafe, it wasn't him. It was me. I stepped in the way." A small, pained sound escapes him. It's not a growl. It's not human either. It's heartbreak. "You were protecting me," he whispers. "And I—" His voice shakes. "I hurt you." He presses his forehead to mine, still running, his breath hot and uneven. "I felt it," he says softly. "Through the bond. Your pain. It ripped me apart." "I know," I whisper. And I did. A flash of agony had torn through me, then through him, like our bodies had become two halves of a single wound. But he's moving again, deeper into the mountain, the cave narrowing into a twisting throat of stone. The air grows warmer, pulsing with strange energy. The deeper we go, the more the bond hums, like it recognizes this place. His voice softens to a tremor. We're almost there. I force my eyes open fully and gasp. The cave opens into a massive chamber. Torches cling to the walls, flickering in unnatural blue flames. Ancient markings spiral across the stone floor, runes similar to the faint ones still etched on my palm. But the center of the chamber steals my breath. A pool of glowing water, silver, luminous, almost alive, ripples with no visible source. The surface pulses in rhythm with something deep and ancient. Rafe steps slow. "This is it," he murmurs. "The Moonwater Pool, the heart of the Avonroe ritual grounds. It heals and binds." "And curses," I breathe. His jaw flexes. "Yes." He kneels at the pool's edge, lowering me gently. The warmth of his arms vanishes, replaced by the cold stone beneath me. I shiver violently. "Easy." He cups my cheek. "Don't move." He tears open the remains of my shirt at my ribs. His hands hover, shaking. The wound is ugly, deep, jagged, blood-soaked. But glowing runes pulse faintly along the torn skin, trying to stitch themselves closed. My blood reacting to the magic. His breath hitches. "This shouldn't be happening," he whispers. "Your blood. It's answering the pool." I swallow. What does that mean? He doesn't answer. Instead, Rafe dips his hand into the moon water. Silver light ripples across his skin. He lifts his palm, shimmering droplets streaming down his fingers. "Rafe." "Hush." His voice softens. "This may sting." He touches the glowing water to my wound. Fire explodes across my ribs. I scream. He grabs my shoulders, holding me steady, whispering apologies that shake with guilt and fear. "It's working," he says through gritted teeth. "Just hold on." The fire spreads, up my side, across my chest, down my arm. My palm burns white hot, the etched runes blazing like molten metal beneath my skin. I can't. I choke. "Rafe." "I'm right here." His voice cracks. "Look at me." I do, and the pain falters. His silver eyes are locked on mine, wild, terrified, fierce, and beneath all of that, something overwhelming. He cups my face with both hands. "Breathe with me," he whispers, "in and out. You're not alone. It hurts. It burns. But I breathe. With him. For him. The pain finally breaks, shattering like glass. Heat dissolves to warmth. Warmth to numbness. I collapse against him, trembling. "It's over," he murmurs, kissing my forehead gently. "It's done." I blink up at him, breath shaky. "Did it heal?" I whisper. He lifts my shirt carefully. "The wound is gone." Only a faint line remains, glowing softly like moonlight trapped under skin. "You're marked," he says quietly. "By the moonwater. By the ritual. By me." I swallow. He looks away, jaw tightening. "I'm sorry." "For what?" "For dragging you into this," he murmurs. "For hurting you. For the bond. Everything." I reach out, fingers trembling, and touch his cheek. He stills. "You didn't drag me," I whisper. "I walked with you." His eyes close. The tension in him melts for a single heartbeat, but then a low, echoing growl rumbles through the cave. My blood goes cold. Not Rafe. Something else. Rafe shifts instantly in front of me, body blocking mine. "Damien," he growls. The rogue steps into the torchlight, but he's not alone. 5 shapes move behind him. Wolves with scarred fur and hollow yellow eyes. Rogues. A whole pack. Damien's voice drips with careful control. "You have something we need, Rafe." Rafe bares his teeth. "You're not taking her." Damien lifts his chin. "Not her. Her blood." My breath catches. Rafe roars, so loud the cave shakes. "You're not touching her." Damien's gaze flicks to me. The moment she unleashed that magic, every rogue felt it. The barrier is dissolving. Your mate is the key. Her blood can free us, or damn us. Rafe lunges a step forward, but stops when I grab his arm. "Rafe," I whisper, "there are too many." He meets my gaze. Pain, rage, and bond fire ravaging him. "I won't lose you," he breathes. "Not to them. Not to anyone." Damien spreads his arms, stepping aside. "Then give her to me willingly." Rafe's entire form ripples. "Over," he growls. "My dead body." Damien's expression hardens. "So be it." He snaps his fingers. The rogues charge. Rafe shifts mid-growl, silver eyes blazing as he leaps between them and me. "Stay behind me." His voice, wolf and man and bond woven together, shakes the cave. I scramble backward as the rogues swarm him, snarling, slashing, ripping into fur and flesh. Rafe fights like wildfire, like moonlight sharpened into teeth. Blood splashes stone, silver mixing with black, breath tearing from him in furious roars. But they're too many, and he's still injured. "Stop!" I scream. My palm erupts in light. Silver arcs across the chamber, powerful, instinctive, uncontrolled. Rogues freeze mid-lunge, bodies suspended in glowing air. Rafe collapses to one knee, panting, staring at me with wild disbelief. Damien steps back, eyes widening. "What are you?" "I don't know." The bond surges. It knows. My blood burns. It knows. The magic spirals out of me, through runes, through veins, through the cave's ancient symbols. I said stop. The light bursts outward. The rogues slam into the cave walls and fall unconscious, the glow extinguishing instantly. Silence. Only my breathing. Only Rafe's ragged panting. Only the bond humming like fire settling in cold ash. Rafe shifts back enough to speak. He stares at me, raw, shaken, reverent. "Lena," he whispers, "what are you?" My knees buckle. He catches me instantly, pulling me to his chest. Damien steps forward cautiously, eyes blazing. "That wasn't wolf magic," he murmurs, "or elder magic, or curse magic." His gaze settles on me. "That was something older." Rafe snarls at him. "Get away from her." Damien raises his hands. "I'm not attacking, but you need to understand something, both of you." Rafe shields me, shaking. "Say it fast." Damien's expression hardens. "The bond didn't only choose her," he says. "The mountain awakened her." My breath stutters. Rafe stiffens. "Awakened. What?" Damien's eyes gleam. "She's not just a mate." He steps closer, reverent. "She's the key of the moonblood." My heart stops. The bond pulses violently. Rafe's grip tightens around me. Protective, terrified, like he already knows. Nothing will be the same after this. Nothing at all. Chapter 10. The Alpha's Trial. The cave holds its breath. Silver light still lingers in the air, thin threads drifting like smoke after a wildfire. My chest rises and falls too fast. My ribs ache. My palm hums like a living ember. Rafe's arms tighten around me the moment Damien speaks the final words. She's the key of the moon blood. Rafe growls, low and trembling. You're lying. Damien shakes his head once. I wish I were. The torches flicker violently, as though stirred by unseen wind. Explain, Rafe snarls. Damien glances at me, hesitates. Long ago, before the curse, the Moonblood wolves didn't shift because of magic. They shifted because of a keeper, a guide. His gaze sharpens. A human with the bloodline of awakening. My mouth goes dry. Awakening? Rafe's head snaps toward me. No. Lena is human. She's normal. Damien laughs softly. Nothing about her is normal. Didn't you feel it? When she touched the stone? When her blood hit Rowan's knife? Even now, the bond shouldn't be this powerful unless she carries... Stop, Rafe snaps. Just tell us what being the key means. Damien's expression shifts. Something like reverence. Something like fear. It means her blood can unlock the full power of the Moonblood. Rafe goes absolutely still. My heartbeat stutters painfully. Unlock? I whisper. Damien nods. Strength beyond any alpha. Shifts under any moon. Healing that borders on immortality. But also... He looks at me with something heavy in his eyes. The power to break the curse. The rogues. The madness. All of it. My breath catches. I can fix them? Damien's jaw clenches. If you live long enough. Rafe steps in front of me, blocking Damien from view entirely. You said this under the assumption I'd let you near her. Damien sighs. Rafe. No, Rafe growls. You tried to take her. You nearly killed her. You don't get to lecture me on destiny. Destiny doesn't care what we want, Damien replies quietly. The mountain chose her, and the survivors of our pack, what's left of the Avonroe wolves, are already moving toward us. They can feel her awakening. The cave air tightens like a fist. I feel it too. A faint vibration at the edge of perception. A pull. A call. Wolves gathering. Not rogues. Something deeper. Rafe's shoulders stiffen. They won't touch her. Damien steps closer, but not with aggression. For once, he looks ancient. Tired. Rafe, listen to me. The pack needs a key. Our ancestors used one to rise, and another to fall. Without the key, the Moonblood curse cannot be undone. Rafe snarls, but it's weaker now, more conflicted. And what happens to her? He demands. What does this curse-breaking do to her? Damien's silence stretches. Rafe's voice becomes a whisper of fury. Tell me. Damien exhales. The key doesn't survive the ritual. My stomach drops. Rafe's world shatters in an instant. No. His voice isn't a growl. It's a broken human sound. No. Absolutely not. You're lying. Damien shakes his head slowly. The curse doesn't break gently, Rafe. It was created with blood. It demands blood to end. You know this. Rafe steps forward so fast that Damien barely has time to brace, before Rafe slams him into the cave wall. Then I'll end the curse myself, Rafe snarls, voice raw with desperation. I won't let her die. Damien grips Rafe's wrist, not fighting, steadying him. You can't. Only the key can. Rafe's snarl cracks. I won't let her die. You might not have a choice, Damien says quietly. Rafe's hands shake. I rise slowly, painful, shaky steps, and place my hand on his back. He flinches, then melts to my touch. Rafe, I whisper, let him go. His breathing slows. Barely. He releases Damien and turns to me with a look that guts me. Pain, fear, love blooming too fast to be safe. "We're leaving," he says without hesitation. "We go down the mountain. We disappear. They'll never find us." Damien wipes blood from his mouth. They already have. A howl echoes through the tunnel. Not rogue, not angry, calling. Rafe's entire body goes rigid. "They're here," Damien murmurs. The last of the Avonroe pack. The sound grows louder. Dozens of paws on stone. Dozens of voices weaving into one. The air vibrates. The torches flare. Rafe's breathing falters. "Lena, get behind me." I do, but my hand finds his. Our fingers lock instinctively. His grip is painfully tight. Figures emerge from the shadows. Wolves with silver-lined fur, scars, ancient eyes. Not feral like the rogues. Not broken. Just waiting. Damien steps forward, bowing his head. "Alpha." The wolves' eyes all turn to Rafe. He trembles. His breath stutters. The bond pulses painfully through my chest. "No," he whispers. "No, I'm not your alpha." But every wolf bows. Then one shifts. A tall older man steps forward, hair streaked with gray, eyes silver as moonlit steel. His expression is solemn. "You resisted the curse," he says. "You fought it. You survived the blood madness. No other Avonroe has." Rafe's voice breaks. "At what cost?" The man's gaze softens. "At the cost of your suffering, and hers." His eyes settle on me. My stomach flips. "The key," he says. "The one who awakens the alpha." Rafe steps fully in front of me, shield-like. "You will not take her." "We're not here to take," the elder wolf says gently. "We're here to complete the ritual." "No," Rafe growls. "Not if it kills her." The elder wolf tilts his head. "You think we want the key dead? That is the elder's wish, not ours. We want the curse broken. The key does not die unless the alpha is weak." Rafe stiffens. "Weak. You hold two halves of a bond that is meant to be whole, but you fight the wolf. You fight the moon. You fight your nature." He steps closer. "You are the fracture, Rafe. And fractures break keys." Rafe's breathing falters. "You must fully claim the bond," the elder continues. "Complete the circle. Accept your alpha instincts. Your wolf. Your power. Your mate." My heart slams painfully into my ribs. The bond pulses. White hot. Trembling. Rafe shakes his head. "If I complete the bond, she'll be trapped with me. Stuck in the curse. She'll lose her life. Her choices." "No," the elder murmurs. "She will gain your strength. Your longevity. Your power. And you. You will gain control of the curse." Rafe goes utterly still. "So she wouldn't die," he whispers. "No," the elder says. "Not if you accept her. Not if you claim her fully. Not if the alpha surrenders his fear." Rafe turns to me slowly. His eyes are full of wildfire and terror. "Lena," he breathes. "If I claim the bond, you become part of my world forever. My life, my curse, my pack." My breath shakes. "And if you don't?" He laughs without humor. "Then the curse takes me. The elders take you, and Hollow's End burns." Silence stretches between us. Alive, thrumming, electric. The bond pulses violently, waiting. Rafe's voice trembles as he cups my face with shaking hands. "I'm asking you," he whispers. "Not as alpha, not as wolf. As the man who has fallen for you since the moment I sensed your soul." My breath catches. "Let me claim you. Let me complete the bond. Let me protect you. Let us break this curse together." My heartbeat stutters. The pack watches. The torches flicker. The mountain listens. "Lena," he breathes, silver eyes glowing, voice breaking. "Say yes." Chapter 11. Claiming the Moon. The cave waits. every breath hangs suspended in the glowing air. Every wolf stands motionless, watching, judging, waiting for my answer. The moonwater pool pulses like a silver heartbeat. The runes along the walls gleam brighter each second, as if the entire mountain leans forward to listen. And Rafe kneels before me like a man at the edge of a cliff, offering everything he is and everything he fears. His hands cradle my face gently, reverently, trembling. His silver eyes glow like twin moons, bright, wild, desperate. "Say yes," he whispers. "Please." The word trembles through the bond, carrying his terror, his want, his unspoken love. But the decision isn't simple. If I say yes, I bind myself to him, forever, through moon and curse, pack and blood. No return to normal life, no safe distance, no fences between our hearts. If I say no, Rafe dies. The pack falls. The curse consumes the mountain, and every instinct inside me, the new ones I barely understand, screams that losing him would destroy me too. My voice breaks on the answer before I even realize I've made it. "Rafe, look at me." He lifts his head slowly, fear in every line of his face. "I'm not afraid of you," I whisper. "I'm afraid of losing you." His breath stutters, and I'm tired of running from things that feel real. "Lena, yes." The word is soft, small, but it detonates through the cave like a lightning strike. Rafe's breath leaves him in a shattered exhale. His forehead drops to mine. His hands clutch my waist, pulling me against him, as though afraid I'll disappear. The pack wolf's howl, deep, resonant, not threatening but honoring. The cave brightens, torches flaring white. The bond surges like a flood that had been dammed too long. Rafe's voice is a low, trembling growl. "I'm going to touch you now." "Rafe," I whisper, "you already are." But he shakes his head, the wolf in him reverent, cautious. "This part has meaning. It's the vow, the claiming. I need to do it right." My breath hitches. He cups the back of my neck with one hand, tilting my head up. His thumb traces my cheek, awe burning in his eyes, as if he can't believe I said yes. "Last chance," he whispers, voice breaking. "Tell me to stop." "I won't," I breathe. "I'll never ask you to stop." His breath shudders. His fingers slide along my jaw, thumb brushing my lower lip. Then he leans in, slow, deliberate, reverent, and presses his forehead to mine. Not a kiss, a vow. "Lena Hart," he murmurs, voice raw with feeling. "I accept you as mine. My mate, my equal, my moon." The bond erupts. Heat pours through me like molten silver. My knees buckle, but his arms catch me instantly, holding me steady as the magic flares between us. Bright, powerful, ancient. Rafe gasps, because he feels it too. "Now you," he whispers, eyes searching mine. "If you want to." My throat tightens. I don't know the words. "Then speak your truth." I swallow hard. The bond pulses, urging, waiting. "I want you," I whisper, voice shaking. "Not because the mountain chose you, because I choose you." His breath catches sharply. "I accept you, Rafe Avenroe, as my protector, my partner, my voice breaks. "My heart." His eyes close as if the words physically shake him. The bond snaps into place. A sound like a heartbeat echoes through the cave. Loud, booming, ancient. The runes blaze white. The moonwater pool flares with silver fire. Rafe arches slightly, inhaling sharply as moonlight floods through him, bright enough to outline the shape of his wolf form, superimposed behind him like a spirit. I gasp as the same light floods into me, burning through my veins, illuminating every fear, every want, every hidden longing. "Lena," he breathes, "I feel you. I feel you too, I whisper. The bond isn't a thread anymore. It's a river, a living force rushing between us, binding our souls in shared fire. My ribcage glows faintly. Where the wound had once been, a crescent mark forms, silver and warm. Rafe's chest glows in the same pattern, over his heart. He looks down, breathless. We're marked, he murmurs, together. A howl rises from the wolves, deep, resonant, filled with power. The pack bows to Rafe, Alpha, and to me. They're Alpha's mate. The elder wolf steps forward. It is done. The bond is whole. He smiles faintly, and the curse weakens. The air hums, like tension breaking. Damien steps closer, eyes bright with awe despite himself. Rafe, he says quietly, your eyes... Rafe looks at me. They're brighter, clearer, silver shining like polished metal, not clouded with curse. His body is no longer trembling. His wounds are knitting closed rapidly. The wolf inside him, no longer fighting him, stands at peace. Rafe touches his chest in disbelief. The madness. It's gone. The key calms the moonblood, Damien says reverently. As long as she lives, you will never lose your mind to the curse. Rafe's gaze snaps to me. Fear flares. Fear for me this time, not of losing control. Then she cannot leave my side, he whispers. The elder wolf nods.
That is the nature of your bond. My breath catches. What does that mean for me? Rafe cups my cheek. It means you're safe. With me. Damien sighs. Not entirely. Rafe stiffens. What now? He snarls. Damien steps forward, expression grim. The curse weakens, yes, but it resists. Rowan and the elders will feel it breaking. They will come, with hunters, with magic, with everything they have. The cave shakes faintly, as if the mountain itself is reacting. Rafe's jaw clenches. Let them come. They will aim for the key, Damien warns. She is the only thing standing between us and extinction. Rafe steps in front of me, protectiveness radiating off him like heat. No one will touch her. Damien sighs. Rafe, you're strong, but even alphas fall. The air chills. But mated pairs? Damien continues.
They're the only wolves who can survive a full moon's curse-breaking trial. Rafe stills. My voice trembles. Trial. The elder wolf steps forward. It's the only way to break the curse completely, once and for all. Tell me, Rafe says, voice low and lethal. You will shift, the elder says, under the next full moon. You will face the curse in its purest form. You will fight it. And she... He looks at me. My stomach turns. What about me? You must tether him, the elder says. Keep him from losing himself. Hold the bond wide open while the curse tries to break it. If she falters, Damien adds quietly, you die. And Rafe dies with you. Rafe roars. No, that's suicide. The elder steps back as the cave shivers under Rafe's fury. You asked to break the curse, he says calmly. This is the path. Rafe turns to me. Wild panic in his eyes. Lena, no, I'm not letting you risk your life for me. I lift my shaking hands to his cheeks. You didn't ask me if I'd risk my life, I whisper. You asked me to choose you. He breathes in sharply. And I did. His eyes close in pain. Then I choose you too, he whispers. For as long as I live. For whatever comes next. He presses his forehead to mine again. Damien speaks quietly. The full moon rises in 3 days. The bond pulses. Rafe pulls me closer. And for the first time, he kisses me. Slow, shaking, desperate. Like a man who has found his fate and refuses to let it go. The cave glows around us. The pack bows. The mountain listens. The alpha has claimed his mate, and the final trial awaits. Chapter 12. Moonlight and New Beginnings. The storm has passed. The cave is quiet now. Still, warm, and strangely sacred. The moonwater pool ripples gently, reflecting the soft glow of torches that no longer flicker wildly. The air smells of rain and wet stone, of silver light and something older than time. I sit beside Rafe, leaning against him. He's fully human now, though traces of the wolf linger. Broad shoulders, lean muscles, and that feral tension in his jaw and hands. His silver eyes glow faintly, calmer than they've been since I met him. "Are you sure they're gone?" I whisper. My ribs ache faintly, and my palm still hums with the faint echo of the moon water's magic. Rafe presses a kiss to the top of my head. "For now," he says softly. But Rowan and the elders won't stop. They never do. Not until they're destroyed. Or we are. I rest my head against his chest. The bond between us hums gently, warm and reassuring. It no longer screams in fire and lightning. It breathes, steady, constant, alive. "We survived," I murmur. He lifts his head, silver eyes catching the torchlight. "Barely, but yes. For now, we survived." I shiver, not from cold, but from the weight of everything. The mountain, the curse, the rogues, the bond that had nearly torn us apart. And yet, somehow, we're still here. Together. Rafe leans back against the stone wall, pulling me fully into his lap. His arms wrap around me, a protective cage I never want to leave. "You're mine," he murmurs, voice low and steady now. "And I'm yours. Whatever comes next, you'll never be alone." I close my eyes, letting the warmth of him seep into every corner of me. I can feel the bond pulsing gently through my chest, through my veins, through my very soul. It's no longer a chain. It's a lifeline. "I don't even know how to be part of this," I admit softly. "Part of you. Part of the pack. Part of all this magic." Rafe's lips press to my temple. "You don't have to know yet. You just have to be. That's enough for both of us." I inhale sharply, tasting the clean, earthy scent of him, wolf and man intertwined. And for the first time in weeks, I feel something I haven't in a long time. Peace. Fragile. Fragile, but real. The bond hums softly, almost shyly, responding to the steadiness between us. It's as if the mountain itself is settling, acknowledging that the key has awakened, that the alpha has claimed his mate. We sit in silence for a while, listening to the distant drip of water, the faint rustle of wind in the mountain vents. Then, as if sensing the shift, the pack begins to stir. The wolves emerge from the shadows, silver-lined fur gleaming in the soft light. Their movements are deliberate, calm, respectful. They gather around the moonwater pool, circling us, not threatening, watching, waiting. Rafe exhales, brushing my hair from my face. "They're acknowledging you," he murmurs. "They recognize you now, not as prey, not as a threat, but as part of this." I glance up at them, heart hammering. I see recognition in their eyes, a silent understanding that I am the key, yes, but also something else, something belonging here, something alive. Rafe strokes my cheek. "You've done more than survive, Lena. You've changed the pack, changed me, changed everything." The words hit me like a physical weight. I rest my forehead against his chest. "I didn't do it alone." "No," he agrees softly, "but you were the heart of it. Always." I close my eyes and breathe. The pain in my ribs is fading, the burn in my palm gone, leaving only the faint glow of the runes etched there. A reminder, a mark of survival, of awakening, of choice. And then I laugh, soft, fragile, but unrestrained. Rafe lifts his head, startled. You're laughing. I'm alive, I murmur. We're alive, and the mountain didn't kill us. Somehow I think it's impressed. He laughs softly, brushing his lips over my temple again. You're insane, he murmurs. Maybe, I admit, smiling despite myself. But apparently, the key has to be a little insane. Rafe shifts slightly, holding me tighter. Then I'm perfectly paired with my mate. The bond between us pulses warmly, steady, alive, anchored. I still don't know what comes next, I whisper. Do we leave Hollow's End? Stay? Fight the elders? Rafe's gaze sharpens. We survive first. Then we decide, together. No more running, no more hiding. I nod. Together. The wolves stir again, moving closer, circling us with something almost ceremonial. Then, one by one, they retreat into the shadows of the cave, leaving only the moonwater pool, the runes, and the bond between Rafe and me. The mountain outside is quiet now, peaceful for the moment. Rafe lifts me fully into his arms, cradling me against him, like I weigh nothing, like I am the most precious thing in the world. My heart hammers, but the pain is gone. Only warmth, safety, and the gentle hum of the bond remain. You survived, he murmurs, pressing his lips to the crown of my head. You survived me, the mountain, the curse, everything. And now, you're mine. I wrap my arms around his neck, holding him tightly. And you're mine, I whisper. Forever. Rafe grins. Sharp and wild, eyes silver and soft at once. Forever, he repeats. Outside, the mountain exhales. The storm is gone. The rogue pack has scattered. Rowan and the elders are defeated for now. Inside the cave, the alpha and his mate sit together. The bond between them hums gently. Steady, unwavering, alive. Rafe brushes wet hair from my face. Come on. Let's get out of this cave before something else tries to kill us. I laugh softly. Lead the way, Alpha. He grins, lifting me effortlessly into his arms, and begins walking toward the cave's mouth. The wind catches my hair. The mountain stretches out before us, vast and wild and waiting. And for the first time, I feel the pull of something new. Home. Together. The bond pulses in perfect rhythm. Mine and his. I rest my head against Rafe's chest. The silver moonlight glints off his hair. His hand presses over mine. The warmth, the promise, the magic of the mountain, of the pack, of the bond. They flow through me like a river of stars. I breathe in. I breathe out. And I know without a doubt that no matter what comes next, we will face it together. The alpha has claimed his mate, the key has awakened, and a new dawn rises over Hollow's End. The mountain is ours. The pack is ours. And somehow, miraculously, so is each other. For the first time, the future doesn't feel terrifying. It feels endless, and we are ready.